The notification pinged like a gunshot in the quiet of our living room. I froze, my thumb hovering over the screen of my phone. The words glowing like a warning flare. Liv is live on Instagram. My wife's face filled the screen, her laughter bright and careless, her dark hair catching the golden light of the late afternoon sun filtering through our apartment window. She was sitting on our couch, wine glass in hand. Her voice a playful lilt I hadn't heard in weeks. "Can't wait to marry this fool and take half," she said, winking at the camera, her smile sharp enough to cut glass. The word fool hit me like a slap, but I laughed it off. Liv's sense of humor was always a little biting. I typed a quick comment. "Who you calling a fool, babe?" and waited for her to glance at her phone and fire back something witty. She didn't. Instead, her friend Mia, off-screen, cackled. "Girl, you're gonna clean him out." Liv's eyes sparkled with something I couldn't name. Mischief, maybe, or something darker. "Oh please," she said, tossing her hair. "He's so smitten he'll never see it coming." My chest tightened, a cold weight settling in my gut. I stared at the screen, my thumb frozen, my heart suddenly too loud in my ears. I set the phone down on the coffee table, the clink of glass against wood sounding too sharp in the stillness. The apartment smelled faintly of Liv's lavender candle, the one she lit every evening to set the mood. I used to love that ritual, the way it made our small space feel like a sanctuary. Now, it felt like a stage set for a play I didn't know I was in. I leaned back in the armchair, my eyes tracing the familiar lines of our life together. The framed photo of us at the pier, her arm around my waist, my grin wide and unguarded. The bookshelf crammed with her dog-eared novels and my history textbooks. The kitchen counter where we danced to no music last Christmas, her laughter warm against my neck. Was I imagining things? Liv was always dramatic, always teasing. She called me dork and nerd with that same wicked grin, and I'd always taken it as love wrapped in sarcasm. But this felt different. The word half echoed in my mind, sharp and jagged. I picked up my phone again, rewatched the clip. Her voice was light, but her eyes, those green eyes I'd fallen for 3 years ago, held something cold, something calculated. I opened our text thread, my fingers hesitating. "Hey, saw you're live. What's with the take half joke?" I typed, then deleted it. Too needy. Too weak. Instead, I waited, my pulse a steady drum in my throat. She came home an hour later, her heels clicking on the hardwood floor, her purse slung carelessly over her shoulder. "Hey you," she said, her voice soft now, the Instagram edge gone. She dropped onto the couch, kicked off her shoes, and patted the cushion beside her. "Long day. Come keep me company." I sat, but my body felt stiff, like it didn't belong in the space next to her. "You were live earlier," I said, keeping my tone casual, my eyes on the coffee table. "Oh yeah." She tucked her legs under her, sipping her water bottle like nothing was wrong. "Just messing around with Mia. You know how she gets me going. Can't wait to marry this fool and take half." I quoted, my voice quieter than I meant it to be. She laughed, a quick, bright sound that used to make my heart lift. "Oh God, Jake, you know I'm just screwing around. It's a joke. You're not actually a fool." She reached for my hand, her fingers cool against mine, and I wanted to believe her. I wanted to sink into the warmth of her touch, to let the moment pass like a bad dream. But the weight in my gut wouldn't budge. "Sounded pretty serious," I said, pulling my hand back to rub the back of my neck. Her smile faltered, just for a second, but I caught it. "Jake, come on." She tilted her head, her hair falling over one shoulder. "You're not gonna get all sensitive on me, are you? It was just girl talk." Girl talk. The phrase felt like a dodge, a slick move to sidestep something heavier. I thought about the past few months, the late nights she'd spent working, the way her phone was always face down now, the way she'd started locking the bathroom door when she showered. Little things I'd brushed off as stress, as wedding planning, as life. But now they felt like clues, like breadcrumbs leading to a truth I wasn't ready to face. I stood, needing air, needing space. "I'm gonna grab a beer," I said, heading to the kitchen. The fridge hummed as I opened it, the cold air brushing my face. I stared at the bottles, my mind racing. Was I paranoid? Was I reading too much into a stupid live stream? I grabbed a beer, popped the cap, and took a long swig, the bitterness grounding me. That night, I couldn't sleep. Liv was curled up beside me, her breathing soft and even, her hand resting on my chest like it always did. I stared at the ceiling, the shadows shifting with the flicker of a streetlight outside. I thought about the ring on her finger, the one I'd spent 6 months' salary on, the one she'd cried over when I proposed under the stars at her parents' lake house. I thought about her smile, the way it used to feel like home. And I thought about her words, looping in my head like a song I couldn't shake. Can't wait to marry this fool and take half. The next morning, I called in sick to work. Liv was already gone, off to some meeting she hadn't mentioned. I sat at my desk, my laptop open, my fingers trembling as I logged into her Instagram account. She'd left her password saved on my computer months ago, back when we shared everything. My heart pounded as I scrolled through her DMs, my breath catching at the sight of a name I didn't recognize. Ethan. You sure about this guy? The message read, timestamp 2 weeks ago. He's sweet but kinda clueless. Liv's reply, don't worry. I've got this under control. He's all in. My vision blurred, the words swimming on the screen. I clicked through more messages, each one a knife twisting deeper. Plans to meet up. Flirty banter. A photo of her in a dress I'd never seen, sent late at night while I was out of town. My beer from last night threatened to come back up. I closed the laptop, my hands shaking, my world tilting. I waited for her to come home. The hours dragged, each one heavy with dread. When she walked in, her smile was bright, oblivious. Hey, you're home early, she said, dropping her keys on the counter. We need to talk, I said, my voice steady despite the storm inside me. Her smile faded. What's wrong? I held up my phone, the screenshot of her DMs glowing like an accusation. Who's Ethan? Her face went pale, her eyes wide. For a moment she didn't speak, and in that silence I saw everything. The truth, the betrayal, the end of us. Jake, it's not what you think, she started, but her voice cracked and I knew. I stood, my heart a shattered thing in my chest. You said you couldn't wait to marry this fool. My voice was low, dangerous. Well, this fool's not marrying you. I walked out, the door slamming behind me, her voice calling my name into the void. The ring was still on her finger, but it didn't mean anything anymore. The betrayal wasn't just hers. It was mine for believing in a love that was never real.